गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। जन्म जन्म की भाग्य फल को पाओ। जन्म जन्म की भाग्य फल को पाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। लाग मोह माया न कबहु जगत की। लाग मोह माया न कबहु जगत की। दया सिंधु गुरु जी की चरणों ध्याओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। बता रहा हूँ मैया युग युग से स्वामी। बता रहा हूँ मैया युग युग से स्वामी। मिल ज्ञान का हरि दर्शन पाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। काम क्रोध मद लोभ शत्रु है भारी। काम क्रोध मद लोभ है शत्रु है भारी। गुरु ज्ञान कंग से मिल मार भागो। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। काम क्रोध मद लोभ शत्रु है भारी। गुरु ज्ञान कंग से मारा भगाओ। गुरु जी की चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। जिस वेद कहता है अजन्म अनादि। जिस वेद कहता है अजन्म अनादि। उस देख घर मन की दुविधा मिटाओ। गुरु जी के चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। गुरु जी के चरणों में शिष्य को झुकाओ। Welcome again this morning. We have the workers are here. They're cleaning up the lawn, picking up the leaves. This is part of the tidying up and recycling. Well, let us do adorations to Surya Narayan. We see him here again this morning. Look how streaking into the water, coming in such brilliance. You know, Krishna Bhagwan would have said that I am consciousness. This he was telling Arjuna, all of us, that he was describing 5 things that he is. I am consciousness. I am the Virat Roop. I am the individual Atma. I am the incarnations. I am the demigods. I am the 5 elements and the brilliance in the 5 elements. This morning, this is the lower nature, the 5 elements and the brilliance. Let us do adorations, the brilliance in the form of Surya Narayan. Om Bhura Bhava Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhura Bhava Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhura Bhava Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Well, we want to acknowledge the presence of God in these five elements, and welcome to this mandir, the mandir of moksha, the mandir that takes us directly to the lower nature of God: earth, water, fire, and space. And we have to acknowledge again that these five elements make up our body, and these five elements in our body receive the information from the outside through our five senses, and it becomes our mind. So this, our body and our mind is what we see out there. What we see out there is inside of us, and our intellect is guiding us. That's the one. When we use our mind, we react, but when we use our intellect, we respond. We do introspection. And all the time we must use our intellect to decide what we want to do. And our intellect will tell us that we must crush our abhiman, our ego. This is a nice question I want to ask you this morning. Where are you in terms of your evolution to perfection? How close are you to your perfection? Are we making a deliberate attempt? Or are we just living life haphazardly? And this is the one thing that we want to focus on this morning. And I might have done this before, that Krishna Bhagwan, he was using this soka, yagyartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana taratam karma kauntiya mukta sangha samachara. Arjuna, you're going to be doing a lot of things driven by your innate nature, especially that rajasic quality. That's the enemy of your life, really, the rajasic quality, because it keeps you in a state of activeness all the time. Versus being lazy in the tamasic, we don't want that. But the one that we want to lift ourselves to is the sattvic, where we could sit quietly and we can go into meditation and we can do that introspection so that we can respond with our intellect to the environment. You know, when we have spiritual masters like Swami Parameshananda ji, let us pay adorations to him. Om Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti Puja Moolam Guru Param Mantra Moolam Guru Vakyam Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. Moksha Moolam Guru Kripa. You know, yesterday, one young lady, well, we were classmates in pre-ashram life in Guyana, and she was telling me that, you know, she would listen to my program and she makes some comparisons. And then she says, Swamiji, you know, I listen to you because I know what you're saying is coming from a divine source. And I listen to other pravachans, but they're more intellectual, bookish knowledge. They sound very intellectual, good, but it is not the same. They're not transformative. Their recitation of stories like coming from our Bhagavatam and our Ramayana and all of that. But you speak about Swami Parameshananda ji, and I know you're bringing, you're getting that divine power, and you're receiving information from him. So this is where your information is coming, and that is so true, because Swami Parameshananda ji. You know, when we study in the classrooms or we read from the text or spiritual religious texts, remember these texts were written by man, talking about the descension of consciousness taking a form. So in the Bible, it was written so many years after, and there was interpretation. There is a controversial thing in Hindu and Christianity, where there is one pope was introducing the doctrine of discovery, And if you Google that, the doctrine of discovery, you'll see how the texts are being influenced by people. And this is how our scriptures become controversial. They do separations from us. But when we go to the Christ directly, or the Buddha, or Pranavanandi, or Bhagavan Sri Krishna, then we're getting the original. We get that in original information, like in the early days when the original creation, they were sitting in meditation and they received that knowledge, that transmitted knowledge, Shruti. They receive it, and that became the Vedas when they were recording, and the Upanishads. But a person like Pranavananda Swamiji, he gives that knowledge directly. And this is when we go beyond the studying of the books. Like we go into the college, university, we go into the classroom and we study the text of religious texts. But that is just the mundane plane. But when we get that knowledge directly, that is spiritual life. And we are so blessed that we have such an institution like BHARAT SEVASHRAM, Swami Parameshananda ji, and like the Buddha, and like the Christ, and all the credible religions. But devotees meditate on them, and then you'll get that direct knowledge. Swami Parameshananda ji would have said that one time, that we shouldn't be like performing miracles on in the mundane plane to gain name and fame. That one time, Swamijis, when they've come from Bangladesh, then was East Bengal, they came and they established a place and they had to do collection. But because they were new, these monks, nobody would give them money, so 2 days passed. And during that time, Pranavananda Swamiji would have said, all right, go cut the grass, and we use that sabji, curry, and then they will be eating the dal and little rice with it. But you know, they were getting tired of eating grass because it doesn't have so much taste. And then Swami Parameshananda would have said to them, the monks, oh, you want me to prostitute my power so that you could get money, so that you could eat nice food, right? He says, no. This is not the work of a Swamiji, of a sannyas. You go out there and go work harder. Take my powers and you go, my divine power, and go and work hard. Exert that human effort, and then you will get collection. You'll be able to collect money. And I could remember one time that monks have to be very careful. We are doing collection in Kolkata and just went up to one house, fourth floor, and I got like 10 rupees. So I came down and was very thirsty because we have been collection like 3 hours. And I went and I saw a man selling water coconut. So I said to him, can I have a water coconut? So before I could put it in my mouth, one Swamiji came and ran and pulled away the water coconut from me. And he says, what are you doing? So I said, Swamiji, I'm thirsty, and well, you could have asked for some water. Look up there. And he says, do you know that lady? So I said, yes, she gave me 10 rupees. So he said, she might be thinking that, you're using her 10 rupees for your water coconut. Why couldn't you have asked her for a glass of water? So when we are examples that we set, that's why Swamijis, we cannot live luxurious life. Because if we live better than you, the devotees who are giving the money, hard-earned money, and we're living in nice places and you're living in basements and trying to make a living, put food on the table or a shelter over your head, and we live luxurious life, then that's not a good optic. Swami Parameshananda is keen on that we should live most simple life in clothes and in our diet. And this is examples, practical examples. And you also, as parents or individuals, you have to set examples too. Because if you don't set examples, then what will happen? Your life will be in ruin, because children are looking at parents and they learn. A parent who is drinking when the child is growing up, he thinks, well, this is a way of life. When I grow up, I have to drink. If I'm ill-treating, the wife is being ill-treated, or there's quarreling and fighting in the home, the children is thinking, oh, this is the way of life. And they perpetuate that. They perpetuate the drinking of alcohol and abuse of their wife or spouse like that. Or vice versa, because these days it goes the opposite way also. So this example that we set, and this is why Krishna Bhagavan came, and I was using the shloka, yagya tat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana taratam karma kauntiya mukta sangha samachara. Arjuna, you're going to be doing a lot of things, but the best thing is to do for me. And when you do that, you'll come to me. Because there are basic three kinds of people in this world. People who are there on the animalistic level, want to enjoy, and they behave like the animal, enjoy and not thinking of elevation. But that's the lower level. That's the body and mind level. But if you go into the intellectual level, then you'll be looking out for society. You're in the social level, and now you think of the welfare of the world. BHARAT SEVASHRAM is that. The institution that we take care of all the sick and the needy and people who need help in all areas of life. All kinds of people. We don't have high and low, Brahmin or Kshatriya or untouchable. Swamiji would have eradicated that from our minds. And this way, everyone, because he knows God is inside. He's inside of everybody. And Swamiji, when you elevate yourself, when we elevate ourselves, we do that too. One of the things I love to do is to work with the tribal people. And because they're so innocent and they need the help. And then when you on that social level, this is cooperation with the with God. Like in this case, Swami Parameshananda. And then what he'll do, that knowledge will be transmitted to you. But if we sit in an ashram and we're not out there and we're looking for a luxurious life, or anyone, then what happened? That knowledge, that grace will not come unto you. And then what will happen? You will be a victim of suffering and sorrow. And this is what the Buddha was very keen on eradicating, that suffering. And today this is the message, that if you lift yourself up to that social level, then Krishna Bhagavan would have said that I'll take you to that enlightened leadership. And then you'll see the path will be clear. And then you'll be a conscious observer. You'll be looking at all of creation. And while all those are suffering, people in the lower level, what you will do, you will be seeing the leela, the drama, the magic of creation, the illusion, the maya, and then you'll come out of it. And that is your moksha. So the devotees today, let us not live in this. COVID is driving us to that place. Thank COVID for what is going on and make the adjustment. Today, look at the birds. Let us do adoration to this Shiva Lingam. And the light is reflecting so nicely on it. And meditation is so important. And I hope that sloka, you can look at it. I think it's chapter 3, verse 9. And you can remember it. So let us do some chanting for meditation. Om Sri Guru Shivaya Namah. 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 Well, I hope you've learned something today. The biggest sin that we can commit is to be comfortable in the mundane plane and enjoy bodily enjoyments. In other words, food and carnal hankerings, and you know what I mean by that. That will be our destruction. and we won't progress in this lifetime. Don't live in that state. That's the biggest sin we can commit. And let's lift ourselves like Krishna Bhagavan is telling us, and he will be there for us. Swami Parameshananda will be there for us. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.